Welcome to the pregame, the show to get you right before your Friday night, the entertainment beacon for your drinking, and the homie sesh before the smoking sesh. We're here with another episode. This is episode 11, technically 12, but 11. We'll just call it 11 for the sake of math. First, before we get started here, do you guys have issues seeing out of your eyeballs? Do you ever have issues looking at the screen for long periods of time or even reading sometimes? Might be a struggle and strain on your eyes. If you need a pair of frames, go to Zenni in the link in the description below to get a, what is it, 10% off, right? It's 10% off? 10?
Yeah, 10.
10% off your order at Zenni Frames. Go get your eyeglass needs there. Well, I shouldn't say eyeglass frame specifically. As well as if you ever are feeling drained, you ever get up in the morning and you need that 12 o'clock rush to get you by through the rest of your workday, use code Nova Uprise at Rogue Energy to get 10% off your order at Rogue Energy. Again, that is code Nova Uprise to get 10% off your order at Rogue Energy. Folks, we're back with another podcast here today. We got finally all the originals of this podcast are finally back. Okay, it feels a little bit normal now. Okay, admittedly. Got to know, Brandon. Fatherhood treating you well. It looks good on you, man. You look like you're glowing. Honestly, you look so cute. How's it been going for you, man, in the realm of fatherhood?
It's been going great, man. It's
Good.
a learning experience for sure, but everything's going great. Kid had just turned a month old on Wednesday, had his first month appointment today, super healthy. He's short. He actually shrank. He was 20 inches when he came out. Now he's like 19.5. He's in the 2 percentile. So he is a very small kid.
So is
So,
Christopher.
but he's 10 pounds. He's 10 pounds now.
Hey.
So he's gaining weight up in the double digits. So, um, one of my buddies, actually, my cousin, I'm not going to name drop him. He just had his kid, and his kid came out 10 pounds and 21 inches long. So he's a big old
Fucking
baby.
Christ.
Yeah.
Poor woman.
Actually,
I think I was a 10-pound baby.
what's crazy is his
I
wife
was also
had
almost
like
a month late, though.
complications. So they scheduled a C-section for the end of his due date wasn't until the 23rd of January. Well, then they went to like their 38 week or 35 week is when they do like a ultrasound. And they told him if his baby went to full term, it would be a 12-pound baby. So they ended up scheduling it for 10 days earlier, the 13th. And then next thing you know, her water broke the 10th. So his baby was born 13 days early and was still 10 pounds.
Holy
Fucking
hell,
So
that's a
big
fucking
kid.
unit. That's
Yeah,
having a toddler. There's no
It's a hefty
newborn.
boy.
It's you birthed a toddler. Like
literally. And the crazy thing is Denny, well, I just name dropped him, but nobody knows him anyway. He's 5'6". So he's small.
yeah,
So
Holy
dude. He's
shit.
pretty
kind of
short.
crazy.
He makes me
Uh,
look tall, and that's hard to do. That's hard to do. David, you've been the longest father in this chat. I'm the only one that's not a father, actually. But uh oh, boy's getting big, man. He's starting
Yeah.
to look like his his mom and his pops together. You know, I feel
yeah.
like when they're babies, you see one parent feature. I feel like that just immediately jumps off the page, and then they get older and start, developing their facial features a little more defined and stuff. And I feel like you start to notice yourself in them. David, do you feel like this sounds fucked, but like, do you feel like you see yourself in Christopher, where it's like you start to notice some of the same facial structure or like eye structure, anything like that? Do you feel that at all? See that?
Not really, honestly. He looks more like Emily. I believe he looks more like Emily than me. He's got my hairline, poor kid.
He hasn't even had a chance to grow his hair yet.
Well, that fucker's
That's
long.
what
He's already had a
that's
haircut.
what I that's what I always say though is because my kid was born with a bunch of hair, so now he's starting to lose and he has that bad hairline. I was like, dang, you're gonna go through hair loss twice in your life before you're 25. You poor son of a bitch.
Noisy being the newest father in here. Obviously, she hasn't went into labor. You
It's on
got
the
a little
way.
while before that actually happens, but it'll be here before you know it. How are you feeling now that you've had some time? Because you've announced it on the podcast, which is really cool, but you've had some time to kind of digest that and start making some preparations. I'm sure. Uh, Are you feeling the nerves? Are you feeling excitement? I'm sure a combination of both. But how are you feeling at this moment?
Man, I I think I was really excited, still excited, but just nervous now. I think a big influence, and I don't know if Logic and I think him and I have talked about it personally, but the influence other adults have, I don't know what it is. Maybe it's just the relatability, but it just everybody's got to share their 2 cents on
Oh,
how their
absolutely.
pregnancy went, how their. It's like I really, really, really appreciate it. but like a lot of it, a lot of the girls talking to my wife about it, it's just like it sets stress up. It's like,
Yeah.
oh, you were throwing up all the time, it miserable, blah 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 blah. And then they get to the part where it's like, okay, but you wouldn't trade it for the world, right?
Yeah.
It's just like it stresses my wife out, but I'm excited. I know she's excited too. We're both hoping for a boy, but I'll be happy with a daughter either way.
If I could give you any advice, is don't go into it thinking one way or the other because it's going to be your own story. Everything's going to be nothing like anybody said. I mean, even if it's exactly how everything went for them, it's going to be a different experience and different emotions for you guys. So, just
That's
go
good to
into it
hear.
with an open mind and
For sure.
do it for you guys, man. Your only job is to keep him alive and keep him fed. And other than that, shit happens. He'll get sick. You guys will get sick. You guys will get sick of him. He'll get sick of you. You just gotta wing it, man. It's all about the learning experience and just the opportunity. So
Yeah, I'm excited, man. I can't wait. I think July. June, I think I want to say it is. 16th is the due date, but you know how that goes. So
Oh yeah,
Dude,
summer
go by
baby, dude.
fast, Trust.
summer
I
baby. That's such a good time to
I'm
have a baby, man, because we
mhm.
we had ours in freaking December, so we're having to like run around and try to, keep them away from the flu and shit. So it's kind of nerve wracking. Summer will be good. So by the time
Yeah.
flu season really comes about, he'll be at least old enough
Mhm.
to have a little bit of an immune system in this first round of shots and shit.
Yeah, we're gonna be getting to like the max, almost max peak like best sunshine, weather we could have in, the mitten here.
That
So
kid's gonna
be
hate the
awesome.
cold.
yeah.
Oh yeah.
Dude,
Fucking hate it.
I hated the fact I have a January birthday, dude, and I hate. Let's talk about birthdays. Uh, I have a winter birthday. I have a January birthday, and I fucking hate it. I do everything, and it's always end of January, so it's not like in December, early December, when you get that fresh sheet of good looking snow. Everything's pretty and white. Like I don't like snow anyway, but at least that first snowfall, the first couple, you kind of get yourself caught in it. You're like, oh, it is pretty, And then by like the end of December, January, it start to look brown because it's been scraped up off the road 50 fucking times. So every time my birthday hits, it's right around that time, and I walk out and it's just brown as shit, and I fucking hate it. I don't know about you guys. What I know, Brandon, you have a spring birthday.
I don't know.
Um,
Mine can fall winter or spring. It depends on the year. Like, you know how weird March can get, especially like in the area of
Yeah.
the U.S. where we live. Sometimes into March you'll get like the worst storm you've had.
Yeah, that's
So
true. That's true. The running joke in Michigan here is always like we always get one big one in March or April. It feels like every year, like early April or in March, we get one last like big snowstorm for like the end of year hurrah. It feels like end of season hurrah. Um, but I could see that. David, your birthday is fall, right? It's October because you
October
share a birthday
1st,
with
brother.
Christian, right? Yeah,
Yes,
yeah, yeah, yeah.
sir.
Oh, really?
That's a
I
great
didn't know
time to have a
that.
birthday.
Yeah.
I feel like fall birthdays are the fucking tits, man. Because especially early October, because you're still kind of warm weather a little bit. You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
Yeah, I don't mind the cold and I don't mind the heat.
Dude,
Unless it's like
October's great.
fucking
Hoodie weather.
unless it's like fucking 100 plus, then my fat ass is sweating and I can't stand that shit.
I hate sitting somewhere and sweating. Like if I'm out doing something like physical labor, I don't mind sweating at all. Or if I'm like doing a sport, it doesn't bother me. But when I'm just sitting there and I can just feel the drip on my shoulders and neck, bro, drives me up a wall.
Yeah, I agree.
Noisy. I feel like a horrible friend, but I don't remember the time of year your birthday is.
Super
Day
duper
before
close to
David's.
mine.
Oh,
September
okay.
30th.
Literally older than me by a fucking day, and it drives me nuts.
Get fucked.
Listen to your
fucked.
senior.
I got something to go on to
Listen to
this
your
when you're
elders.
done.
Okay, we got something to move on from this. Okay.
Yeah, it goes into this shit.
All right. Let's kick it off. Logic, what do you got to say, man?
All right, so to me, it's not true, but the way I see it is a month is 4 weeks, right? Or
Mhm.
damn near 4 weeks. So the way I see it is if your kid's born on a Monday, 4 weeks from that Monday is a month old. Your baby's a month old, right?
Yep.
But it's obviously doesn't. So my kid was born on the 15th, so the 15th of next month is a month old, right? Which I get. Okay, kind of makes sense. But then this is where you got to really dig deep. My birthday's on the 31st. Well, there's not a 31st in every month. So when's my 1 month? When's my fucking 1 month? It's not 4 fucking Mondays from when I was. Is it the 30th?
Probably
Is
the
it the
first.
1st? So it's kind of like, I don't know, it bothers me,
See,
the whole
I
1
get
month
what you're
old bullshit.
saying.
Bro, what if you were born on
That's
weekday?
crazy.
Let me hit the blunt. I'm next to rotation. I love that thought
Well-
process, but no, I get it. It's what about a leap year birthday? What if you're born on a leap year? You just
Exactly. Like,
you fucking
You
just
only
don't
age
got a
every 4 years,
birthday.
man.
You just-
Everybody
that's
knows that.
crazy.
Everybody knows you only age every 4 years if you're born on leap day, bro.
but yeah, that shit really just bothers me because I was like Monday, he's gonna be a month old, and she's like, no, Wednesday. I'm like, it just doesn't make fucking sense. Like,
I'm with you on that, honestly. I
Logic's
support you
mad.
on
He
that.
needs answers now.
It does
I need
make sense
answers.
though.
am I actually 26, about to be 27? How old am I?
In dog years, I'm at least 100. What the fuck? Yeah.
So is anybody? I feel like I'm the one participating the most in the pregame right now. I don't know if anybody else is drinking. If you are, what are we drinking on tonight?
I got a McDonald's
Palmer,
sweet tea.
Palmer.
Oh hell yeah, hell yeah,
Sweet
hell yeah.
teas,
Well,
both teas.
I'll be a
Nice.
man and take a drink for the pregame, you motherfuckers.
I'll
Yeah.
rip the pen.
Hey,
To
bro.
be
This
fair, I
is
just got home at 5:30, spent some time with the boy, and then just kind of came downstairs. So I'm gonna try to get everything settled out, and then I'm gonna start drinking in the late night. You
Yeah.
know.
Hell yeah.
How are you
My
doing after
problem is-
your first like break away from him?
I mean, I did miss him for sure, but at the same time, it was a nice little break. I mean,
Right.
not even
Hey man,
from
there's
him.
nothing wrong. It's not from him. I feel like as much as the stress that comes along with it. You're
Yeah.
kind of like I'm still my own person. You know what I mean?
Easy.
Like
He's the easy one.
yeah.
It's the mother that you run around with because she's recovering and stuff. So it gets to that point you're just like, shit, could I just get up and do something for myself and not get asked like, can you do this? Can you do that? So, but I mean, you do it, because they just
What
had a
else are you gonna
baby.
do?
And,
Yeah.
I haven't had
I get it.
an actual like break from Christopher, except if we consider this first month being alive, being in the NICU. That was driving me nuts, just because we didn't know how he was gonna be the next day. So I mean, I guess it's a little different, but
right.
every now and then he'll stay at grandma and grandpa's house for a day or whatever, and I'll miss him after like once we get home and all that shit. I'm like, fuck, what if he fucking chokes on a goddamn animal cracker or something?
Yeah. Crazy enough, it's this is gonna sound fucked up, but sometimes I still like forget I'm even a dad. Does that make sense? Like I'll be
It's-
at work and I'll be like, shit, you're going home to a kid. You're a father.
I think it's hopefully it's normal, because there's times where like someone will come up to me and be like, "Hey, how's your son doing?" I'm like, "What? My son? What the fuck are you talking about?"
it's
and
up
my
in the
son's a
sky.
year
I don't
old,
know.
so.
It's bright.
Real quick,
No,
when Garrett, when
Yeah.
you have your kid, and Brandon, please do me a favor. When your kid's over the age of 12 months, please don't be that guy who's like, "Oh yeah, my kid's fucking 16 months old." No, your kid's fucking 1. I can't stand everyone who's like, "Oh, how old is he? 1 year?" Oh, well, like, is he 14
18
months?
months.
Is he
Yeah.
15? No, bitch, he's a year old. Fuck off.
He's 62 months. Just
He's-
fucking-
He's 36 months.
I can't stand that
You're like,
shit.
he's 60.
I don't know why.
Oh,
it
he's
drives me
100
nuts,
months.
but
He's
it fucking
102
does.
months.
yeah. So
This is his 365th.
I'm gonna start telling
day.
people that. Okay,
Uh,
let me do some fucking math real quick.
Look at the fucking survival count.
Let's see. I'm gonna be 27 this month, so
Shit.
27 years.
Oh shit, I got
Don't forget the leap year. Don't forget the leap year.
I gotta scroll in our chat. And get your
324
address.
months old.
Yep.
The
I'm
big boy.
324 months old. Actually, I've lived 324 of them bitches. Don't you even talk to me unless your numbers are at like 250. You know? Actually, how much is 250? That might be a crime.
It's 10.
Miss Snipey said hairline, bitch, you're
20,
bald.
okay.
It starts somewhere, Snipey. Once the hairline gets so bad,
not
you
always
just go
bald.
bald. You can still grow hair and
used
be
to have-
bald.
I can
you
grow
know?
hair. Look.
Yeah.
Still grow
Hey,
the hair.
I even got a 5 o'clock shadow going on. You know what I'm saying? I mean,
You should get a skull, Brandon. You really should grow out the skull.
No.
dude.
Okay,
Fuck
okay. Riddle me
that.
this. Riddle me this. All right. Just let me get the homie's thoughts here. So I can grow really good hair on the sides and the back. So like, you remember back in the day, like kids would have like the little rat tail. I'm gonna just grow it in the back and have like the fucking rat
The
tail
little
be
braided-
bald everywhere.
You, that's
Would
so
that not be
gross.
badass, bro?
I think it'd be sick.
totally
Dude. You should totally. You should get it
Brandon
like.
with the fucking rat.
See how long you can fucking get it too. You
Yeah.
just get it like mid back, and it's
Fucking
just a
braided
braided
out.
fucking yeah, bro.
Dude, the only thing that's
Get a
keeping me
head
from doing
tattoo.
The only thing that's keeping me from doing it is like that period of getting it to like long enough to be a rat tail. It's just gonna look like I missed the
Yeah.
spot when I was shaving. Oh shit!
You'd have to commit to the skull at first to get it long enough. You'd have to
I
commit to the
know,
skull at
yeah.
first. Get it long
Oh,
enough.
you
and
would
then
look
can-
like Kyle.
Dude,
Don't
I
act
actually.
like that.
Funny part is, I was going back through some of my photos and videos on my phone yesterday,
Oh,
and I came across some of the clips we had gotten when we played a disc golf tournament together. And this was probably like 4 years ago. Kyle had the full mane grown out, dude. He looked beautiful. I gotta say, it was gorgeous. I can't lie. Like I'm so mad for Kyle because he has actually so cool of hair, and like this isn't me trying to glaze. It sounds like I'm glazing, but he has like a really, maybe it's just because I have board straight hair, but he has such a cool curl and texture to his hair. I wish he could grow it out full length because at like shoulder length he would look sick as fuck. And I tell him that all the time. I'm like, dude, God played the meanest joke on you on giving you the coolest hair, but giving you the worst hairline. Like,
Dude, I shit you not though. It comes quick. It's like you're doing good, and you're like, yeah, it's it's receding a little bit. And then like a year from there, it's like fucking halfway up your head. And you're like, should I go ahead and shave it, or do I try to go like a couple more months and see what happens?
What
the
fuck
Yo,
is
yo,
Logic,
yo,
you need to
you
do some
gotta
shit
go-
like this, bro.
go to the guy in the pink shirt. Go to the guy in the pink shirt.
That's fucking sick, dude.
Oh my
my
god, bro!
I would tip the
That's
fuck
hard
That's
out of
a
that.
fucking rat tail, bro.
Yeah,
I
It's-
respect the
dude,
fuck out of that.
perfect.
Hey, what the fuck?
dude,
Man.
honestly, tip.
Oh, these are gross.
Oh my goodness, I love
That's
it, dude. Are you kidding me?
Honestly, bro, like the one in the top left is kind of what I'd be going for, like just the natural, you know, like
Just a little braid.
yeah, exactly, bro. Just that's
Dude,
it.
that's not even on his head though.
Business
That's like
in the
on his
front,
neck.
party in the
dude.
back type of style.
His
It's a
neck
little
hair
off.
gets
I
that
try to-
long.
I try to center mine up a little bit nicer, you know, like where the little dent is in the back of your head, like
Yeah.
that's right
Yeah.
where I'd go, you know. Just have it nice. And I might do a little bit more of like a little bit more of a bush around it, you know what I mean?
Yeah. Fade it in a little bit. I get it. Fade it in a little
Oh man, yeah, there's some gross ones in here. Oh my, what the fuck?
yeah.
All right, that's
I
I
would-
don't mean to make fun. That was crazy. I just searched rat tail hairstyle haircuts.
Rat style hairstyles, and just a rat came up.
Whoa.
Oh god.
Ready? I wasn't ready, buddy. Oh man.
Oh, that's good shit.
So I got a question
Oh.
for you two, since you guys weren't here for the past 2 fucking weeks. You guys have a New Year's resolution?
No, I don't make promises I can't keep.
No,
Typical.
no.
It's
I don't need a
typical.
resolution when I'm trying to be 1% better every day. That's the goal. Why no resolution?
All right, Clark Kent. My
Well,
bad.
update on-
dude.
I'm just not gonna follow through with it. That's the simple point of it. I respect New
that-
Year's resolutions. I think they're very basic in this day and age. Nothing against it. That's just my personal thought. I mean,
But
if it's a little bit of extra motivation, hey, New Year, clean slate, go for it. I mean, I'm still gonna be a degenerate.
I've
There's
been
no-
watching too much David Goggins. He's like 1% better every day.
I made-
This guy watches Andrew
Oh my
Tate for
gosh.
sure.
I
everything,
made
all of the above.
I made 2 of them for like just because Zach kind of asked me on the show, so I just came up with 2 things. One, I was gonna quit drinking soda, which I've only had one since we made that, and it was
You were
actually
gonna
So
today.
you
drinking?
like quit?
Soda, 'cause
Oh.
I was,
Soda.
that's all I was drinking for a while, and I'm gaining some fucking weight. And then 2 was I was gonna quit nicotine, and
Yeah, that's a hard ask.
that
It's going
one's
pretty good.
I
Dude,
restocked
honestly,
yesterday.
I really did think about one. I was gonna do, but then I was like, that's just so half-assed. It's not even worth it. I was gonna do no soda except in a mixed drink. Like the only time I can have soda is in a mixed drink.
You're
Well,
gonna be
I
drunk
fucking
every
drink
day.
mixed drinks all the time. So
You're
it's like,
gonna
it
get
doesn't
drunk all
even
the time.
matter.
You know, just
Oh.
like limit it to it, like a
All of
one
a sudden, you're like,
soda per
damn, Brandon,
special
you're a
occasion
fucking
type
out. You
shit."
drink every day now. Like you. Next thing you
Gotta
know,
get
he's
the
just
soda.
sneaking a bottle of Jack into work. Not even because he wants the whiskey, but it's the only time he gets popped. So he's like, God damn. What are you
Oh,
drinking at work,
boy.
Brandon? I made this rule with myself that I can only have pop if I'm having a mixed drink. So I have to drink a mixed drink.
And I want the
Oh,
polar
God,
bear
it might turn out to be
Coca-Cola.
great.
And it's lunch, and I want a damn Coke.
Speaking of which, I need a new drink, fellas. I need a new drink. I know we're only 27 minutes in, but the whiskey drinks go quick. I will be right back. You guys can talk amongst yourselves, though.
I'm drinking whiskey.
So, do we have anything actually scheduled to talk about today?
I got one big one. It's kind of controversial, but I would like Zach to be here for that one. It's the shooting that happened in Minnesota.
Oh yeah.
Oh my
Let's talk about
gosh.
this fucking. Let's
There
talk
we
about while
go.
Zach's gone. Let's talk about this fucking shit show. The good old Pittsburgh Steelers, the fucking middle of the pack fucking losers. Love them to death. Gonna support them no matter what. Still love my terrible towel. I still got it hanging over the Suns fucking bassinet that I keep by him. But what a miserable fucking performance, man. And just to top it off, I sit there and our defense gave us enough hope through the first 3 quarters to watch. And then in the fourth quarter, it goes from like a 6-14 to a 30-6 game with us not even being able to fucking score. Exactly. So, and then of course Mike Tomlin steps down, which I understand, but truthfully, I didn't mind him. I hope you guys over at the Lions hire our offensive coordinator Arthur Smith. I see where
No,
you
we
guys
don't want
want
him.
to. No, you do though. You guys requested an interview with him for your OC position.
We want McDaniels. The people have spoken, and we're not going to get him.
He
Nah,
just interviewed at the Ravens today, I think.
Yeah, I think he's interviewing us too.
He's
So
doing
we'll see.
the Bucks also are really trying to get him.
Where
from
did
what I hear.
Harbaugh go? Didn't Harbaugh just sign with the Giants?
New York
Yeah.
Giants, baby.
Yeah.
Last I heard, they were finalizing a deal. I don't know if it was official, but last
Somebody
I heard
else
they
was finalizing a deal too. I can't remember who. Somebody else was
There's
finalizing a head
there's
coaching.
9 coaches that are moving teams this season. There's a lot of people that are in conversations right
Yeah.
now. Like it's a
Are we
lot.
talking about football?
What's interesting is the New York Giants have never hired a Super Bowl winning coach before, so this is their first time in history, from what I've seen.
Who
Is
did
he even
John
guaranteed to
Harbaugh
go
play
there? I
for
heard that
the
he.
Ravens. Is that his first NFL team, the Ravens?
Yeah, he
don't
played.
think so.
He
Really?
coached there for.
18
Yeah, he coached there
seasons.
for 18 seasons.
Oh,
And that's
yeah.
that's crazy because he coached for 18, and I think
Tomlin was at 19, I think.
19. Yeah,
Mm.
it was his 19th season. Never had a losing season, but never had two Super Bowls. I think he 2006 and 2009.
2009 was
Super
against
Bowl
the
years.
Cardinals, right?
Yep.
Doesn't
Mhm.
not. I thought
I
that
remember
was.
that game.
I thought that was Saints.
No, it's
So
definitely Cardinals, I'm
before
pretty sure.
John Harbaugh was
When
14
was
years
the
coaching
Saints?
college at Western,
Saints beat
Pittsburgh,
them in
Moorhead.
2006. The Saints won the 2006 or the 2007 Super Bowl. I can't remember because it was literally
When the fuck was
year of
Katrina?
Hurricane Katrina.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. It was 06, but I think
Okay.
it was.
We
So
won in
was it 06?
2005.
He's got his
His
towel.
towel.
I'm good.
We
I'm
won
looking
it.
It's a
up now.
reminder.
74, 75, 78, 79. So the 70s, man, we were unstoppable. And then 2005
It's easy to
and
remember when
2008.
we won because we haven't won.
Oh,
Well,
Saints
we
won in
won NFL
2010.
championships. We used to be
Oh.
dominant.
Something I want to note about John Harbaugh as well, just to add some facts to it. He coached 9 seasons with the Philadelphia Eagles as their special teams coordinator from 98 to 2006, and then later defensive backs coach in 2007 before transitioning. It looks like college and maybe NFL again.
So I wonder. Here is my
No, I got
question
that
because
backwards.
Michigan just hired a head coach. I wonder if Michigan regrets making that hire because I wonder if they had a chance at Harbaugh.
We beat the
That'd be fucking wild.
Seahawks in
Going for the
2006.
brother.
See, I thought we won it. This fucking towel's fucking sham. It says fucking 2005. It was 2006. 2005 was the Patriots and the Eagles.
I don't know if you'd want to go
Towel's
from
terrible.
coaching NFL to NIL college. Now that I'm just
It's the
thinking
same
about
thing.
it, processing. You think about it,
Now-
but it's really not. I mean, the kids are so much more immature, and they're
For
getting
sure.
they're getting some fuck you money. Like I'm talking millions of dollars. Not like it's not been happening in the SEC for years, but like
For sure.
you know, now that it's
But my argument to that is this, right? Like I used to be on that level with you, Noisy, especially when Belichick took the North Carolina job, right?
Mhm.
I used to be on that. The way that I look about it is I think if John Harbaugh goes to the University of Michigan, and I'm not trying to glaze because let the record show I'm not a U of M fan. Okay, I'm a WVU Mountaineer fan till I die. Not a Michigan fan at all. That
Yeah.
being said, Michigan is is the top college program of all time. No mistaking. Like it is
Absolutely.
the number one college program of all time. So you now enter into a state where you have fuck you money at a university to go spend on whatever player you fucking want. Okay. You're historically a defensive minded guy, which Michigan is very prone to hiring. Okay. Your demands when you got hired is that you'd have full control. He would have had full control of that football team. And you have family lineage running through the University of Michigan. I think that it would be a home run hire. Granted, this is completely hypothetical. Michigan already made their fucking hire. They're not hiring him. But I think it would have been a slam dunk hire, hypothetically. I think if Michigan was still coachless right now, you make the call. I'm not saying he accepts it, but I'm saying you make that call. Absolutely. Like, why wouldn't you? I mean, he's won
The
Super
I
only
don't
thing-
know. 100%. I'm just looking at the outside facts.
Look at Jim.
I mean,
Harbaugh.
I mean, you think about Matt Patricia. I mean, he went down to college and he's doing solid as a defensive coordinator somewhere. Or actually, he's with the Bucks.
He's
isn't
under
he?
Bill Belichick. He's under Bill Belichick in North Carolina.
North Carolina. Yeah, I mean, like there is success there, but I don't know,
There's
man.
not
I feel
at
like
North Carolina. They had a shit fucking season.
I'm just saying in general. I feel like he would be successful, but in a sense of like all the controversy at U of M right now, it's just like, man, maybe you just go take a gig,
Dude.
getting a coaching job in the NFL because they're gonna pay him
He would've been the
regardless. I mean,
white
teams
knight,
want
bro.
him.
Bill Belichick too worried about his 21-year-old girlfriend.
That's facts, bro. Apparently, she's like team manager or something for the University of North Carolina. That's what I've been hearing.
Twice if
and she
he
had to,
needs
like-
help.
Dude, she
No,
does like adult fucking cheerleading competitions or some weird shit. Like, bro.
She's not even that attractive. That's what the crazy part is. It's like you picture,
Off 7.
you're like, yeah, like Goff's wife,
I mean,
brother.
at his age though, bro, anybody 22 is probably a dime piece. Like,
You ain't lying though. You never
like,
lying.
bro's winning.
He is.
But,
I get it. It
I
is
don't know.
weird,
I don't
though.
know get back on topic. I don't know the ins and outs of like the dynamics of college football. I don't watch that all the time. But no, man. I mean, I don't know. I don't know which way it would have gone. It's just interesting to see some of the plays that come out where you feel like certain coaches would fit perfectly with a certain scheme or something or a certain franchise, and then they go the opposite direction. It's like, all right, maybe they bet on themselves, or maybe they're not seeing it from perspective the fans see, maybe. From the couch or from a different perspective. I don't know. It's just interesting. I wonder what the politics are involved in decisions like that. It'd be interesting.
College
That'd be
football is getting
interesting.
ruined, man. With all these
It's definitely a
NIL
different
bills and
product.
Shit. It's fucking.
It's interesting.
bullshit.
The transfer portal stuff is interesting. I think I saw an article of this guy who is on his 8th year of transferring. He hasn't stuck a full year at any fucking program. Like,
Dude,
Here's my thing about it.
Well,
The good part
crazy.
is- the good part about this is that they're cracking down on a lot of that, which I think has been needed. They're starting to implement some rule changes to kind of curve that a little bit. And I think, funny enough, coming from a team in West Virginia that has used the transfer portal now incredibly the past 2 seasons. I mean, we have 69 players, just 3-star players from the transfer portal. I mean, 69 new players, bro. A roster can only hold, if I'm not mistaken, 85. I think is the roster cap. So that's insane. But they're learning because we're seeing a lot of kids in the transfer portal that aren't finding homes. Like they have this delusion of their talent because they lead a team in tackles one year, but what they don't realize is you're a corner, and if you're leading the team in tackles as a corner, you're not doing your fucking job. You know what I mean? And so they hit the transfer portal thinking they're bigger than what they are. Nobody offers them because they watch the tape and they're like, yeah, this guy has 103 tackles on the year, but it's because he's given up fucking 20 receptions in some of these games, and they're just not picking them up. And they're starting to learn the hard way of what a professional model truly looks like. And I think a lot of these kids are getting pissed. For a prime example, Jaheim White, a West Virginia running back, just hit the transfer portal from West Virginia. He was one of our marquee backs, and it was this big blown out thing because he went on Instagram Live and started talking shit about the coaching staff, saying that Rich Rod's practices were too hard and that there was no fun allowed under Rich Rod, and he didn't like that, and it was just all business all the time. But the
It
thing
is a
is,
fucking business now.
that's my fucking point. You're running to the transfer portal. The reason why it feels like a business is because it fucking is. They wanted this. You wanted to get paid and be treated like a professional. Guess what? Sometimes that's what happens in life. You're not good enough to make the cut sometimes. And that sucks to hear, especially when you feel like you've given your all to a fucking team or a company in the real world, and they turn around and say, you know what? You're not good enough. I'm sorry. And you don't hear what you want to hear, and then you go blast. This is what happens, man. You're getting paid to do what you do. You don't get both. You either get the money and get treated like a professional, or you play for free and get treated like a child still. So I love to see it. I love that capitalism always corrects itself, and that's what's happening right now. So
Sounds like Nova's going through some shit like that too, huh, boys?
In my opinion, I think that college athletes should be able to get paid off their name. Like if they
I
want
agree.
I think they should be able to get paid off their jerseys, and then if someone wants to hire them for a signing or whatever, they should get paid off of that. I don't think they should be able to get paid to play. I think that's bullshit. Like I saw something, I couldn't remember who it was. Someone left one of the Big Ten teams or something, and he had to pay the college like $3 million because of some type of breach of contract shit. Like, why the fuck is like that even a thing in college sports? Like, sure, you put your name on a jersey, you should make money off of that. I agree. Someone wants to give you a sponsorship, make you money, but you shouldn't be able to pay players to come and pay for you, because that puts teams that
Yeah.
like my team, West Virginia University, we don't have the type of donors to fucking sit here and do that. You know why Indiana's so good? Who threw so much money into their fucking program this year?
Me personally,
I don't know.
my
Who was it? I'm honestly curious. Who was it?
I'm pretty sure it was one of the fucking Sharks. Wasn't it like Mark Rubin or something?
Oh,
sounds
really?
about right.
Jamie, get
That
on
doesn't
it.
surprise me. But the thing that, yeah, exactly. I
Check
mean,
that,
West
fact
Virginia
check that.
actually, since
Yeah, Mark
S-
Cuban, biggest donor for
Wow.
Indiana. He's alumni.
He's a sports guy, though. I mean, power to
Yeah.
him. If he's an alumni, that's the thing, though. Is like that's
But
the
he's
point I
buying
want to
their
make
way
later.
into the playoff. Like it's like that makes it not fair for the teams that don't have that type of fucking funding in their clubs. Like
it takes away the point of college athletics, and I
For
get
the
your
NIL
point to that.
you're talking about?
Yeah, 100%. He basically what they're doing, Noisy. I don't know if you're. I know you had mentioned you're not really accustomed to how college athletics works that much.
I just
'cause
know
you
it's a
don't
lot
watch
of
it
money.
So what,
I know there's
what happens
contracts,
is
brand endorsements, but there's certain rules around it.
there is so the only real rule is that it can't come directly from the university. So what happens is
Okay.
universities
party.
develop an outside third party company. For instance, West Virginia's
Mm.
is called the Country Roads Trust. So you put
Ah.
money into that from other activities such as sports, whatever. You become a donor to that, and they in turn become a donor for your football and NIL fund. So then all of a
Interesting.
sudden, even though it's not a university entity, it's not an educational entity, it's still a West Virginia in like a university investment to invest. You have to, it's a bunch of red tape basically that the college can still directly pay for the players. So that's when you're seeing like a lot of these donors write these huge fucking checks. Like the reason why West Virginia has now become, funny enough, you mentioned this, Brandon, we've become the top revenue school in the Big 12 is because now revenue sharing is becoming a thing. So now they're passing it to where any revenue that's made off of performance-based incentives or any money the university makes off football now is going to get a revenue share towards the players. So because of that, West Virginia has now moved to number 1 in the Big 12 as far as NIL funds in the Big 12. So that's actually huge for us, and it is actually benefiting us, Brandon. I think that I get the point that a lot of West Virginians think that West Virginia University doesn't have a lot of money. We do, and it's starting to get shown, and I think you're going to start to see the after effects of that now. But to your point, I agree with you, and that's how these universities that bring in so much money from football, i.e., that's why you see the same fucking teams in the playoffs every year. That's why you see the same teams playing for conference championships every year. But
well,
it's
let me
starting to
ask you
introduce
this.
some parity.
Was this before last season that we started getting all this money? Because if so, what the fuck were they doing?
No, it was passed. It was passed literally at
Yeah.
the end of the year last season. We brought in a lot of transfers. The problem is Rich Rod is implementing a new culture in Morgantown, and it's very evident as you can see these players that are transferring out are speaking out about it. Clearly, the way Neil Brown coached football is not the same way that Rich Rodriguez coaches football. Okay, I don't think it's necessarily a bad thing. I think that honestly, Rich Rod is bringing grit back to Morgantown. It's very similar to like the Dan Campbell style, right? He's a very hard nose. We're gonna put our fucking hands in the dirt and we're gonna fucking grind it out. And when you change that culture, we could see it. I mean, we had the same blow up at the Lions with Jamal Williams, right? There was obviously a culture change. Jamal Williams felt a certain type of way because he didn't get paid a certain type of way. He runs his mouth, and then come to find out, it was exactly what we knew. He was a product of the offensive line. So I don't think it's a bad thing we're losing Jaheim White. I'm not saying it's going to be a positive. I do think the kid's talented. To answer your question, I know that was a very roundabout, long way to do that. I think that starting this year and continuing on, you're going to start to see a lot of changes in Morgantown in the positive way. I think
Good.
that the culture that Rich Rod is building is very equal to what you see championship cultures become. And he's a proven product in the last time he was here. I mean, his first couple seasons in Morgantown, the first time he coached, were dreadful. And it's because when you introduce a culture, people don't understand the kind of effort that he's demanding. I mean, look at Dane Campbell's first year. We were fucking atrocious, but we all knew that was going to happen. I knew it was going to be a tough year going into this year. I was surprised we got a fucking top fucking 15 win on the road at Houston. That was incredible to even see that. I mean, that's something that Neil Brown literally could not do in his entirety, was when it beat a ranked team on the road, and Rich Rod goes out there with literal plumbers and gets it done. So,
You know, I will say losing White
and we
sucks
beat Pitt.
because last year we lost C.J. Donaldson and this year White, and those were kind of our two backs that fucking glued us together, you know. So it does suck to see him go, but hey, if you're not going to be with the program, you know, I respect it, you know, on both ends. I respect it for him hitting the portal and them telling him, you know, I mean,
Well, you know where he's going. He's committed to North Texas. Guess who's the head coach of North Texas?
I don't
Neil
know.
Brown. So, like, I don't think there's anything that Rich could have done to keep him. And the weird part about it is that he was acting after the end of last season and all over his social medias. He was keeping the WVU thing, said he was coming back home, all this, and all of a sudden it flips. So what that told me is that there was probably a meeting between him and Rich Rod. And he came in and sat down in the office, and he probably had a list of demands of either A, the money he wanted to make, or B, a guaranteed spot, or probably a combination of both, right? He wanted guaranteed snaps, or he wanted a promise of some sort. I'm sure, a guarantee. And Rich Rod was probably like, listen, at the end of the day, we won 4 games last year. Nobody's position safe, which I respect out of Rich Rod, because I'm sure that's how this had to have went. Because there's no way that you're talking about coming back this whole time. You're talking about wanting to play for West Virginia. You're keeping it all in your bio. And then one moment you flip and you say, I'm out. And then you start talking shit on Instagram Live. Like, there had to have been a meeting. You heard something you didn't like, and now you're transferring and you flip-flopped. And that's the only thing that makes sense, because and it'd be different if I didn't know Rich Rod. We've watched him coach now his second tenure at West Virginia. We know the kind of person he is. I guarantee you that conversation happened. I guarantee you Jaheim White walked into that office having expectations and promises that were going to come from the football program. And Rich Rod was like, listen, we won 4 games. There is no world in where we can guarantee anybody's spot from last year. They fired coaches. Coaches have retired, and they have gotten rid of coaches because of the season. They had higher expectations, and it was evident. So I don't blame Rich Rod for that. But at the same time, leads back in my NIL conversation. This is the result you get when you start treating it like a professional sport, Jaheim. I'm sorry. I know that I'm a fat, lazy guy that has never played one down of fucking high level football in my life. But what I do know is the real world, and this is what a real world situation is. You're not going to get guaranteed a spot when your team wins 4 games. You don't like that. You're the transfer portal. Respect to you. Go chase that bag. But we're good. You know, we're good. Anyway, I know there's a real roundabout way, but that transfer kind of pissed me off.
I want to chime in about the NIL money here. So, like, my thing is like, as a kid in this capitalist society, if you're able to go make money off of your likeness, kindness, your God-given talents, your genetics, your hard work, your dedication to something that you're good at, then fucking, like, same thing, go chase the bag. My thing is like 2 to maybe 1.5. You can even fact check me, that could be wrong. Maybe 1%, maybe as low as that, actually make it to the pros and see results of a starting position and a stable income. So I agree with logic. Like, hey, you should be able to make money off your, name, likeness, and stuff. I think the rules around it, I don't know. I got to familiarize myself with them. But from what I saw, like you were saying, it's got to come from the third party. It can't be from like gambling,
or directly from the university.
Is there any cap
can't
on
be like
it?
stuff
Is my question. Is there any type of cap on it?
Not that I saw.
There is
really.
no cap. No, there is not a cap space.
I
That's
didn't
one of
read
the
anything on
one of
that.
the rule changes actually that people have been talking about implementing, is giving teams cap.
Yeah. Well,
Which
another thing
might
to
not
me
be a
is-
bad idea, because it simulates a real pro team. You can't just stack
Yeah.
like 5-star
Yeah.
recruits. Oh, hey, your coach leaves. The whole system is like what we're seeing with Ole Miss. Respectfully, maybe not
Some of the
to
stuff
that
that's
degree,
happening doesn't even happen
but
in
what
the
you
pros,
think.
bro. That's how ridiculous it is. You know what
Yeah,
I'm saying?
You know
Like,
what?
it's an extreme take on like a very a very big market. I mean, NCAA football, it's a big booming thing in America. I mean, it's always going to drive money. People bleed for these freaking colors of their state. I mean, people are willing to go to war, argue over people who live in the same state who support
Dude.
the different color of the team.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
I'll
It's
say-
literally feels like a real life gang violence in the
I can
real
see
world.
it ruining a lot of careers too, you know, because
Oh,
these
yeah.
people get into the big leagues and like they're negotiating these contracts and shit. It's not them. I mean, they're good at sports. They're not good at business. They got managers, you know. These kids in fucking college think they got it all together and try to fucking manage that shit on their own. They're gonna
Most of them, it's
fucking,
their parents, dude.
they're gonna ruin their fucking reputation before they even really get one, you know. I mean,
Yeah, that's exactly it.
But
mean, look
like,
at the Tennessee
to that
quarterback,
degree,
you know-
like you're
ahead.
you're a kid, they're gonna make mistakes, and like that much money's tied to it. Like they could go from having everything to nothing. So
yeah.
it's almost like I worry. I will never sit here and tell kids or shit on the youth, like whatever fucking future older generations have to us now. I will never sit there and be like, you're not allowed to make this money. No, you make it. I mean, if you're given that offer, I would fucking sign the contract too. If I was given generational wealth right there for just playing a sport for 4 years and then get out and go do my thing, you know, have my
Yeah, no,
body. So
I 100% get it, but you look at the story I was going to bring up is, I mean, last off season, so not during the season, but last off season, the Tennessee quarterback went in and demanded. I'm not going to name drop because I don't remember his name off the top of my head, but Tennessee starter from last year.
I
I'm
know
sure
who you're
y'all can do
talking
your own
about.
research.
yeah,
Went
yeah,
and
yeah.
demanded a certain amount from the coach. The coach was like, "I'm not going to give you that. Like, I don't know what you expect this is." Goes, hits the transfer portal out of rage, which I'm sure wasn't even probably him. It was probably a manager that he hired, and that's a whole nother conversation. Is managers in college sports are ruining the college sport faster than any NIL deal could. But that being said, I'm sure it was the manager that had a
Nico
play in it, which is
Lamaleva. I'm not saying that
Yeah.
right. Sorry.
went and demanded, didn't get the amount he asked for. Probably agent in his ear saying, "Go hit the transfer portal. You're going to get that amount. Just hit the transfer portal." Hits the transfer portal. Doesn't even get anywhere near the mark that he was even getting offered at Tennessee to play. But now, guess what? Tennessee doesn't want you anymore because you caused that fucking fiasco. Now you're hitting headlines for all the wrong reasons. All these NFL teams are going to look at you and be like, "Dude, this guy's a diva. Like, I'm not
Yeah.
trying to fucking get
Look
this
at what happened to
quarterback."
They want
Sanders.
another AJ Brown. They don't want a
Yeah.
George Pickens. They don't want
They don't
divas
want a
on their team.
fucking-
This is a professional
Exactly.
sport, and it's turning into
Leave my boy Pickens
insecure
out of
shit
it.
show.
Especially at the quarterback position.
Fuck
Especially
George
at the
Pickens.
quarterback
Yeah.
position because
Yeah.
The Keelan.
you can wide receivers are like notorious divas in football. Like it's notorious that they're kind of the divas of the sport, right? Like
Yeah.
sorry if I offend any wide
Quarterbacks
receivers
are
that
supposed
end
to
up
be
watching this,
leaders,
but-
supposed to be leaned on. They're supposed to take control of
Exactly.
the team. It's
They're
like a
supposed to be
catcher
the
in
level-headed
baseball,
ones.
right?
Yeah.
The catcher can see the whole field, so the catcher's like, supposed to be the one that takes control of the field. It's the same way with the quarterback. You
Yeah,
know?
calls out the plays like, here our plays at, turn 2 here, here's our play at second, whatever.
It's
You
like the
know what I mean?
quarterback and on defense, it's like what, the middle linebacker, I'd assume. I mean, kind
Yeah,
of
exactly.
Yeah, so
Sees the lineup, gets people in their correct coverages. It's the same idea. So when you have a character like that, you're looking for a real level-headed guy, doesn't get too high, doesn't get too low, can go in and manage a football game. You know what I mean?
Not gonna be a risk.
Exactly. That's why Caleb Williams had so many fucking question marks. Now, that kid can fucking ball. I won't
Yeah.
even lie to you. I was
He's
a Caleb
good.
Williams notorious hater. That
Same.
dude,
Calm, cool, collected. Assassin,
I mean,
bro.
like, but the thing is I never understand. It's so funny because he can have the cleanest pocket in the world, literally the cleanest pocket in the world. And a guy runs a simple hitch and he overthrows it 10 yards. And you're like, what are you doing? But then he gets flushed out of the pocket off his back foot, 40 yards down. It's in the fucking breadbasket. And you're like,
Like,
that's
fuck
just
me,
God
okay.
given, right? Like it's got to be just God given talent at that
Like,
point.
all right,
You know what I mean?
I
Like,
see you. I see you.
Kid,
Oh,
kid
just a
cooks.
little
100%,
side
man.
quest here. Moose, I forgot you were a Texans fan. Congratulations, brother. You whooped our ass. You made
Oh.
us look like a college team. Hats off to you, bro.
That defense is nasty. That defense is
It
fucking disgusting.
They're fucking gross. They locked us down, bro. They didn't give a
Dude.
shit.
Dude, Alshire and fucking Stingley, bro, are gross.
CJ Stroud gave us every fucking chance to win that game. 3 fucking turnovers. Fucking
Yeah, what's
Yeah,
happening to
I
CJ
don't like
Stroud,
Stroud.
Moose? What's happening?
Ever
Like, you
since he
guys
went
should
up
have won
to
that
Caleb
game by like
Williams,
50.
bro.
two missed snaps is crazy.
Great.
Yeah.
I could show you the point in time
Boy, don't we-
exactly when Caleb Williams started shitting the or not Caleb Williams, CJ Stroud.
it's so crazy. David, you haven't talked in a while. You're I'm
He's
sorry.
like
I
just
just
sitting there.
realized
No,
we've been.
you're
You-
good, brother. You guys were talking about shit that I had no information on, so I was just listening.
I want to put this in reference. David's always been a Lions fan. David's new to like the nitty gritty, I feel like, of
Yeah.
how it works. So Axis, he's learning. We're gonna get him there. He's now starting to like learn how it works. First steps football games, bro. I swear to God, football games have taught me so much more about football than anything ever. I've watched football since the time I was 5 years old, like religiously. I've probably missed, as far as West Virginia football goes, I bet I could count on both hands how many games I've missed since I was 6 years old. No bullshit. I'm 26, almost 27.
Honestly,
So
there's a
I've
lot of
learned
people
more in
that
football
don't care
games.
about the nitty gritty too. I mean, they'd rather just watch
Yeah.
the games. You know what I mean? Like a lot of people would rather just watch the games, cheer on their team. Have some favorite players and not even care about the shit that's behind
Yeah.
the scenes.
I'm just
No,
autistic, is
100%.
what I'm trying to tell you. I'm definitely on the spectrum, and anytime I get interested in something, I have to full dive into it. I don't casually get into something. So, but football games like Madden, NCAA before college football started remaking their games, that taught me more about football than anything, bro. I literally learned how to read defenses because of college football 26.
Dude,
and
did you see where they're
25
thinking about doing
all those-
NCAA basketball?
Dude, I know. I hope so, dude. I want
That'd
it
be a
so
sick
bad.
game. Yeah.
Oh my god.
Speaking
I
of
pulled
basketball,
up the real quick though. I wanted to pull up the picture where this is where CJ Stroud, the moment in time where after that he just started shitting the bed. This is the time after the post game handshake where he was like, Caleb Williams, keep your head up, man. This is his second year in the league or something like that. Telling Caleb Williams is, this was
didn't he like shrug him
this is
off or some shit?
yeah, he shrugged him off. That was his like he's like, yeah, I hear you. But like the stats were different. Like Caleb Williams balled out. He fucking had a better passer rating than CJ Stroud. I mean, I get it, but I don't know. It's just something to note. At that point in time, I think CJ Stroud that following year just been playing like garbage, and his team was winning without him at QB, so it's even worse.
Yeah, I think that, dude, honestly, you should really start getting into more college stuff because it honestly makes the NFL more fun because I remember so many of these guys all the way through their college careers. Like, I remember Caleb Williams because West Virginia played against Caleb Williams when Lincoln Riley was still at Oklahoma his freshman year. I remember that. There was a real conversation. I forget who their quarterback was that year, but the guy ended up getting benched for Caleb Williams. Like he got hurt and Caleb Williams came in, and Caleb Williams actually back then was more of a running threat. Like he hadn't developed his arm talent yet, but he was just so athletic that there was a real call that even if their starter got healthy, that they didn't want the starter back as in Oklahoma. They wanted Caleb Williams, and then I saw him transfer to USC. It was college definitely makes the pros more fun because you get to really watch these careers like develop. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like I've
That's
watched.
something I don't do either. I'm not as big into the college. I watch the WVU, but I didn't watch a single college game that wasn't WVU. I think I watched one. I watched the Ohio State Michigan game, and other than that, I've watched every playoff game. But before that, I mean, I don't know. It's just,
I love it, man. I love it. I remember that my father-in-law always gasses me because he'll always like call out a player. He's like, "Where did that guy go to school?" And I'll just have it like, you know what I mean? I'm like, "Oh yeah, he went to fucking Appalachian State." And they're like, "What the fuck? Are you some savant?" And it's like, "No, I just watch a lot of fucking football, man. I love watching football. I'm not a stereotypical guy in a lot of things. That's one of them though. That like stereotypical guy in my household. Saturday and Sundays, it makes it easy because my wife loves it. So it's like I have college football on Saturday morning during college football season and all the way through the day. Sunday morning if we're home, all the way through the day. But if we're not home, it's because we're going somewhere to watch games. You know what I mean? So it's like
yeah.
we love football in this household, man. It's my shit. I love it. That being said, salute to the Pittsburgh Steelers. RIP. What's Aaron Rodgers gonna do, man? What's Aaron Rodgers gonna do?
I don't know. After his post game interview, he said he didn't want to make any decisions off of emotions, so he was going to take some time and think about it. But I know that the Steelers did express interest to bring him back. But then again, new coach coming in. I guess
Those
everything's
coaches want
kind
to
of
get their guy. Yeah.
to be determined, right? I don't really, I don't know. I'll be honest, and this is just cutthroat. Aaron Rodgers is a hell of a quarterback. Nobody can take that from him. But I'm ready to not be. I'm ready to go to the bottom half of the league and be shit for a couple years and start building a team around a young quarterback. I'm sick of, we had Russell Wilson come in, whatever, end of his career, like couldn't really build a team. I'm trying to build a team around a quarterback. You know what I mean? Like, I don't want to
Yeah.
bring Mason Rudolph in. Like, we've tried that route. Like, he's a good quarterback, but he's not a fucking starter. And
Yeah.
Aaron Rodgers, I don't like his character. Like, if you paid attention to all the Steelers games, after every fucking play, he was screaming at somebody on the team. Like, and it wasn't like a leadership type of yelling. You know what I mean? It was like belittling his team. So, like,
Yeah.
I don't care if he comes back. I'd rather give Will Howard a try, man. I mean, Will Howard was a great college quarterback, and I don't see why we don't give him a shot. He's a big guy. He has good college stats. I mean, I'd like to see that, but
Yeah.
I don't know where we're gonna go, man.
I'm interested to see, man, because a lot of, especially in the pro level, a lot of your offense is obviously predicated around your quarterback play. I mean, look at the evidence is in the fucking pudding. What great Super Bowl team hasn't had at least an above average quarterback? I mean, I talk shit about Jalen Hurts all the time. He's an above average quarterback. He's just not elite, but he's
Would you
above
say
average, right?
CJ's elite?
No.
But if there was a team that was gonna win without an elite quarterback, it would be them because of their defense.
I would agree. But look at Philadelphia too. I mean, the Philadelphia last year won a Super Bowl predicated on the ground game because Saquon Barkley ran for over 2,000 fucking yards and an
Yeah.
elite pass rush. I mean, that's the recipe for Super Bowls. I mean, if I'm being 100%, the two things that travel in the playoffs is your run game and your defense. You need to have a good. I mean, you don't have to have an elite run game, but you have to make teams respect your run game, and you need to have a great defense to go win Super Bowls. You,
I agree.
you just do. You know what I mean? I think that's how I feel about a couple teams that have head coaching vacancies. A lot of the teams that have head coaching vacancies have holes at the quarterback position. You need to have a good quarterback and a good defense to win a Super Bowl. I truthfully believe that. At
I
least
agree.
a good quarterback. You don't have to have an elite
You
quarterback,
know what?
but you need a good
The
quarterback.
problem is if you have a good quarterback, you have to have a great O line.
That's true. Lions are learning that firsthand. But we need I'm not even going to lie. I think Jared Goff's the man. Jared Goff's not the man that's going to break 2 sacks in the pocket, roll out, and hit a fucking on the run off his back foot down
Yeah.
the field. He's just not that kind of guy. Now, can he
And
go and
really,
read a defense?
quarterbacks
Absolutely.
till recent years, quarterbacks have never been that anyways. Like, you know what I mean? Like, that's not most up until what? Probably in 2000, whenever fucking Lamar really got hot, there was no double threat quarterbacks in the NFL. Look at Pat White. He came in as a double threat quarterback and got fucking shit on. I mean, it wasn't
Mike
in the
Vick
play
was the only
style.
one. I would say Mike Vick and Donovan McNabb are the two that really stick out in my mind historically as like truthfully great dual threats, you know? Aside from that, you're right though. I mean, most
Lamar
of them,
Jackson.
Pocket passers, man.
yeah. I mean, because at the end of the day, because there's going to come a time when you start to get older and you're going to lose some of that explosiveness, and you're going to
Yeah.
have to find ways to get the ball downfield and score touchdowns. That's why the people that are truly great. I mean, Tom Brady will tell you. He said online so many times live that his greatest weapon was never any physical attribute. It was his work ethic and his brain. He was
Yeah.
talking about how when he was playing for Tampa Bay and they fucking slammed them in the Super Bowl, slammed Kansas City in the fucking Super Bowl. He was talking about the fact that like, yeah, I knew Kansas City's defense better than the players knew their own defense. He was like,
Yeah.
I watched film. I knew exactly what they wanted to line up in, and it made it super easy. When I went out there, I immediately recognized what they were in and was able to check out or, make the play. And he's like, that was
Yeah.
my superpower is I could read a defense quicker than anybody in the league. And I believe him. I mean, it was evident. The guy ran a 5.5 second fucking 40 time. I mean, the guy wasn't athletic aside
Right.
from the fact he had a cannon, you know what I
Yeah.
mean? But look
A
at
good arm
Stafford.
and a big brain, bro.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, you
Stafford's
think
about
about
to
it
win
too.
the MVP, and he's slow as shit.
That's
Like,
how most of the greats are. I mean, look at it. The Manning brothers,
yeah.
fucking Patrick Mahomes, Ben Roethlisberger.
Well,
I
Pat
mean,
Mahomes is Pat Mahomes is mobile.
not
He's mobile.
He's slow, dude. He's not. Patrick Mahomes. You think
Jamie, give me Pat Mahomes 40 time right
What
now.
the hell?
I guarantee you he's like 4'5", 4'6". I
I need
guarantee
to
you.
look up. I'm sorry, I was
he's
doing
definitely
some research on this.
he can get out of position, but he's not a fucking dual threat quarterback. But he can make throws out of the pocket well. But it's not like
But he can
he's a-
create. He's fast
Yeah,
enough to be
yeah.
able to shake a
Who are
couple
you
sacks
talking about?
and create.
Yeah,
Pat Mahomes.
Pat Mahomes.
Oh,
Josh Allen's not that fast. He's
You
considered
just
a
want me
big
to pull
threat.
up a highlight reel on homeboy?
No, I just want a 40-yard dash time.
Mahomes 40-yard dash, huh?
It's probably like a 4.6. I guarantee it's like a 4.6.
Right now, he ain't
4.8.
doing shit with
You
that.
guys want to
blown
put
out
bets on it
Achilles.
right now? I got it right in
It's
front
a
of me.
4.8.
2017.
4.8.
Yeah, okay,
Yeah.
dang it. It's 4.8. son of a bitch.
People don't understand how fast a 5-second 40 is either. I just want to let y'all know that. Any y'all out there that think that 5-second 40s are slow, I guarantee all of you run 6 seconds.
Axis, mark it
100%.
down.
I run
Next
15.
time we all get together, we're gonna do an IRL stream and all run 40-yard dashes and see what we get.
I'm gonna hit 6, bro. I'm definitely hitting
so
6
down.
seconds
I'm
at the
getting
very
I'll get up to a
least.
max speed of 4.5
If I get sub
miles an
6,
hour, dude.
If I get sub 6 seconds, bro, I'm gonna fucking. You guys are never gonna hear the end of it. I'm gonna start talking my shit.
What are we gonna do with
That
the
ass-
make
I'm
pregame
gonna
pregame.
run the 40 and then I'm
the
gonna spend next
pregame
2 weeks with
combine?
Shane
We go
Flynn.
out there and we just give it our all, doing some
We'll do
40-yard
like a little-
dash,
do like a
fucking
little
passing drills.
combine, just fucking going out there like, all right, we're gonna see who can throw a football the farthest. We're gonna see who can run the 40 the fastest. We're gonna see who's the best receiver. Like,
It
Dude,
just
I'm-
sound like a public football field, and like people are just like, what are these fucking grown men doing? This
David-
fucking the most unathletic people out here.
I feel like low key David could probably.
He'd moss the shit out of me. I feel like.
Yeah, I feel like David could low key catch a football.
Bro would go up in the sky, and I'd like look up, and I'd just see his nuts over my head. I'd be like,
Bro
oh
doesn't
shit!
Bro doesn't miss a ball. If I'm
I
asking
ain't
what
jumping,
David
brother. I'm
is
white.
Yeah, I mean, you gotta hit it in your radius, but I feel like you're not dropping a ball though.
with
Yeah,
David,
he's
bro,
being
you just-
humble,
you
humble
just gotta
king.
get him to
I
use his
respect the
hands
hell
to
out of
catch
that.
I ain't
the
no
ball
Saint
instead of his
Brown.
mouth.
His hands are super grippy. I know.
I actually have. I got some mitts on me, bro. I got some mitts on me. I can catch a ball if it's in my radius. Now I'm no 30-inch vertical, nothing like that, but I can catch a ball.
I can catch a ball when I have fucking gloves on because them bitches are so sticky. You can get their fingertips on.
Dude,
Give St. Brown some of
I've
them.
never
Oh
had
my
fucking
gosh.
receiver gloves on in my entire life. My fucking
Best.
nephew got them for Christmas, and I was like, "Let me see those for a second." And he's a big fucking 11-year-old, bro. Like he's got pretty decently sized hands. I still had to really squeeze in the bitches, but I made it do. You know what I mean? Because I had to try it out. I fucking put it on. I was like, "Throw me that foot, bro." It really. All your receivers dropping balls. What the fuck are you doing?
It's as good as a stick 'em, bro. Like dead ass.
Oh my god. It was unbelievable. I was one-handed shit. I'm like, I'm not this athletic. This makes me look way more athletic than I actually am. Like, what the fuck is happening?
Makes you think
Anyway,
that we're
David, go ahead.
overpaying St. Brown, huh?
Don't even get me started. That motherfucker is a dog. Don't get me
I think
wrong.
he's
That
playing on an
motherfucker's
injury,
a
bro.
dog.
I
I
think he's
watched.
playing on injury this year.
I think he
He
was
was.
too. And honestly, if you watch Wide Receiver, the Netflix documentary, that motherfucker St. Brown. Go watch that documentary and don't tell me your favorite receiver isn't St. Brown after you come out of that. I'm telling you right now, like that dude's a fucking dog. That being said, if you drop one more fucking ball at 4.6 speed at 5 foot nothing, I'm gonna lose my fucking mind. What else are you bringing to the table? You know what I mean?
Against us.
Great looks in a
Oh, man.
podcast too.
Enough about
God.
sports. David, you have something you wanted to
Next
talk
Yeah,
about.
topic.
before we
it's
ended
gonna
the,
get controversial in here.
Woo! But I love politics.
It's not what you think
Alright.
it is, Zach. It's the Minnesota shooting that happened, the ICE shooting.
This one's very controversial.
It is very controversial.
This one's like causing wars. I feel like this whole thing.
Hey! Before we get into the serious conversation, I need your fiance Brandon right now to name 5 songs off of Dark Side of the Moon.
That's my shirt.
Okay.
It's a hand me down.
Anyway, we can continue
So,
with this. I'm sorry.
who would like to make
I'll
a
start.
controversial
I'll start,
hot take to
I'll
start?
start off
There we
right
go.
now. I think it was justified.
All right. Hell yeah. Next person.
I'm gonna have a longer
Joking.
take. So anybody that has a
Here,
quick take on
yeah.
it,
I'll tell you why
Axis,
I think it's.
why would you
I
like
got a
to
thicker one.
Because
elaborate on
look,
that?
Because look, if you're in front of a car, you're doing, a stop or whatever. Because the only thing I see defending this fucking bitch is that, the wheels were turning the other way. Look, if I'm doing a fucking traffic stop or whatever, and I see a car move, I'm not gonna look at the fucking wheels. See the wheels are pointing, and even in their little fucking thing, you could see the wheel was spinning. If this was in June, July, the motherfucker got ran over. Because those tires were spinning before she turned the fucking wheel. But anyway, who the fuck's looking at the goddamn wheels when you see a car coming at you?
no, I'm with you on that. I like I said, I have a long, exaggerated explanation. But Brandon, you can go ahead. Unless are you done, David? I'm sorry, I didn't
Yeah,
mean to
yeah,
pass
yeah.
you. Unless
Just comply.
Oh, okay.
Mine, I mean, mine's just kind of simple. All right. Your moral of the story is whether you like what they're doing or not, you're interfering with a federal investigation, which is a no-no, right? And everybody wants to say, "Oh, she had a kid, this and that." Well, as a parent, as a new parent, the way I look at it is, if you care that much about your kid, why the hell are you dropping him off at school and then putting yourself in the situation of danger? Like, you know, you're going up against guys that are doing a federal investigation that, whether you like it or not, is approved by the US president, even though you don't respect him and he's not your president. It's still completely legal what they're doing. And if they're interfering, they can be arrested. If she is gonna fucking put herself in that situation, then she deserves it. And on the back end of things, I still have sympathy for her because it is a lost life, right? That's the problem with fucking the way that they have things with left versus right. Nobody has any sympathy. Like, I feel sorry for the kid. The kid has no mother. His father was already dead. Like, I have sympathy for that. I have sympathy that she lost her life, but it's not like it was just unwarranted. Like, everybody wants to treat it like fucking everyone wanted to say Charlie Kirk deserved it, this and that, and he was doing nothing but giving them the opportunity to debate against them. And this girl, literally, whether you think she tried to hit him or not, the dude has internal bleeding from the altercation. So clearly he got clipped, and it happened. Is it a fucking, am I gonna start cheering and being excited that it happened? No, I'm not. But I'm also not gonna sit here and praise her and say that she was some great person when you look up her criminal record and she's been arrested 4 different times. One time child endangerment, another time interfering with a police investigation. Like, it's not like she was just some innocent woman. She put herself in that situation. Her fucking wife or whatever was sitting there, run, drive. Like, it's their fucking fault. They didn't have to be there. It had nothing to fucking do with them. They're not a minority. They're not fucking on the list of people to get deported. They were just there causing fucking havoc. That's liberals' problem. They put their fucking nose where they shouldn't fucking put it. It's not, and it's not a peaceful protest. Like, they're out here fucking, I saw a thing today, there was 6 fucking cars in Minneapolis that were fucking vandalized. 4 of them were fucking literally people that were picked up by ICE. They ruined 4 people's cars that were picked up by ICE, and only 2 vehicles that were actual ICE vehicles. Federal vehicles. Like, you're just out there to wreak havoc. Like, that's what they are good at. They want to make us out to be the bad guys, but in reality, if you look back through history, it was the far left that had slaves. It was the far left that killed Abraham Lincoln. It was the far left that killed Martin Luther King. It was the far left that killed Ronald Reagan. It's the far left that fucking wants you to be scared of the far right, but they're the motherfuckers that are causing this, bro. They're the
Ronald
ones
Reagan
dividing
did
us.
not get assassinated. I
Not-
wanna,
not-
like,
not Ronald Reagan,
I want to
fucking-
make that known right now.
Not Ronald Reagan. Fucking what's
Didn't he
his
get shot
fucking
though?
name?
Wasn't there an attempt on him?
I think
Or
he
am I
was
just
getting
high?
shot at while giving a speech, and he just continued to give a speech, didn't he? He's like, "You fucking missed." I don't know. I can't remember what president that
John
was.
F.
I think it was.
Kennedy. I'm sorry, I misspoke. It was John F. Kennedy, is what I meant.
No
You
shot, you
can't
gotta look
misspeak
that
on
up. No shot, you
Hey,
gotta
John
look
F.
that
said-
one up.
inside
John
job.
John F.
Inside job.
Kennedy was a Democratic president. I will mention that. However, I have theories on
Goodbye.
how he got assassinated and why he got assassinated.
That's a
about
He got
different topic.
assassinated
It's a
because he
different
was trying to
pod.
go
Yeah,
back
different-
to the gold
different pod.
standard. He got
We
assassinated.
should do
because
it.
he tried to go back to the
Yeah.
gold standard.
The Federal
Real
Reserve
talk,
didn't
though.
like that.
We
So
should
if
do
you
an
ask
entire
Reagan, he
show.
probably got killed by the Jews.
They were in on it. No, I'm just joking. I'm just joking.
I think we should do an
Logic,
entire
with all due
pod on
respect,
conspiracy theories.
do you
we
have
believe
anything
in.
left to say on Renee Good?
Renee
No? I'll
good,
take
Renee
this.
bad.
Renee Good, Renee Bad. Yeah,
I'm
man.
done.
I mean, my personal thing, I don't really know who's right or wrong. I watch a lot of body cam footage. I've seen cops de-escalate shit. I've seen cops escalate shit. I've seen justified shootings, what I think, and what non-justified shootings I would claim. I don't really know. I can't really decide. I can't pick a side here. I don't think the cop did an appropriate action, because my first thought is when he's dumping a mag into a girl, or not a girl, it doesn't matter, into a person behind a wheel of a moving vehicle, is like, what's down the fucking range, bro? There's like
Or
a
poor
kid
dog.
sitting there. there's she smacked some cars, whatever, insurance, that's and that. But I don't know if he needed to pull and just dump her, but also to the extent of like I mean, she's obstructing a roadway and she's interfering with a federal investigation. I mean, she's given lawful commands to step out of the fucking vehicle after she made a scene. She wanted to fuck around and then she was going to find out. And then she escalated it even more by pulling away, which, in my honest opinion, I don't know if you're up to no good. If a cop gives you lawful commands, just fucking obey him. What the, like, in my honest opinion, I think the worst they would have gotten on her was, oh, you're disturbing a federal investigation, and obstructing traffic. She gets a slap on the wrist, gets a, whatever fine, and then she's out and gets to see her kid the next day. I agree with Brandon. Think she's really selfish. She had a kid at home. She acted in her own righteous knight in shining white armor. I just don't think. I think she tried to. She bit off more than she could chew, personally,
Yeah,
and
and
I
to
don't think
add
the
to
cops
that,
wrong for it. I don't think. I think she's wrong for her actions. I think I don't know. It's a messy situation. A life was lost. I think it sucks. American life was lost. Let me point that out. Always hate when it's on your own citizens, but it's sad all around. I think it's a very fucked up, messy situation that the government is trying to portray something, like push a narrative like, oh, she had a prison record and blah blah blah. It's a fabricated prison record. She never had a prior, um, same thing with like, oh, she lived in Colorado and she moved to Minnesota. Well, she moved to Minnesota back in like early 2025. There's a lot of different misinformation to try to justify it. I just think that's what's more sickening about it. It's like, let's just present the facts and let's move forward with it. Let's quit trying to force a narrative, because it's bullshit. People can see it. People can obviously, see fabricated lies, but that's my opinion on it. I think it's fucked up. Nothing else to say other than it's shitty.
let me ask one more
Well, I
question
think
before Zach
for
goes
it.
into his. Do you think that there's paid protesters? Do you think
I
that
absolutely do. It's
Yeah.
been proven. The same guy has showed up in all these protest videos, refuses to answer questions, has a LinkedIn of being a professional protester. It's proven a fact. These people do 40K salaries to go around the world and cause havoc in your own neighborhood. That's fucking awesome that people get paid to do that. I'm obviously joking. That is a fucking waste of a working body, in my opinion.
get Kyle Rittenhouse? Get him out of here.
Kyle Rittenhouse.
I mean, that video looks crazy, bro. That's just a fucking kid trying to protect his parents' bit. I don't know. That's a different conversation. Anyways,
okay, so I feel like there's multiple layers to peel back on this, right? And I'm not going to go into all of them because we don't have time in the day to do that. I will say this though. I agree with the sentiment that Logic had previously stated of, if you're a parent and we want to use the parent reasoning of why it was unjustified, that doesn't matter. If you're a parent, you're not putting yourself in that situation. You're just not. I don't think there's any parents that I know that would go do something like that because they are needed at home. And whether you look at it that way, and I understand the concept of she probably had no inside intel on what would happen, especially something like that. And I don't want to diminish the fact that a loss of a human life is a loss of a human life. Absolutely. With that being said, by the t-shirt in the description below, I think that she put herself in that situation and acted in a manner where, I'm not saying the shooting was necessarily justified. However, until you see the video, I always try to use the narrative of, would I go to prison for this? Because I own firearms. I've had my concealed pistol license for a very long time now. Has it expired? Have I carried since? No, because usually when I go out, I'm planning on participating in some adult beverages. So those of you, it's a state by state thing. And those of you who know what state I live in, you guys understand. But that being said, I always try to use the justification. If I were in this situation for whatever reason, would I be able to have a case in court of that's a legal self-defense trial, right? At first, my initial thoughts were, oh my God, I'd go to prison for that, because the first angle was so bad at portraying what actually happened and how I'd read the officer's mind. Now, when the badge came out, and this is one of the reasons I'm glad our officers wear badge cams, right? When the badge cam came out, I'm like, oh, 100% she was trying to hit him. And if not, even if she wasn't trying to hit him, let's also put this in perspective. Negligence is still a crime. Okay? If I neglect my child, whether I was purposefully doing it or not, that's still a crime. If I lock my kid in my hot car and my kid passes away because of that, of course I wasn't trying to lock my kid in the car. Negligence is still a crime. Okay? Whether she had the intention to hit him or not, she understands that she is now behind the wheel of a deadly weapon and she is full pressing the gas in the vicinity of officers. Okay? Whether you don't understand how that feels until you're in that situation on the officer's point of view as well. Now, do I think that the situation could have been prevented? 100%. Do I think that emotions were running high on both sides in terms of she was impeding a federal investigation? I'm sure they probably get this shit all the time. I'm sure they're just sitting there trying to earn a paycheck just like you and I are, right? They're trying to earn a paycheck whether you agree with what they do or not. People don't agree with fracking, but people aren't outside fucking assaulting people that are working construction on fracking equipment, okay? Whether you agree with them or not, those guys are still American citizens as well and are trained to do a specific task that is a legal project that you are now impeding. So now they have legal right for that. My problem lies, and obviously I want to touch on something you said, Noisy, too, is, there is this narrative like, why did they have to put so many shots in them? They're trained to do that. Anytime you draw your weapon, even in concealed pistol training, like when we, those of us in Michigan that had to go through CPL training, this, they teach you as soon as you pull your weapon out, that now has, if you should only pull it out in life or death situations, of course, is the first thing they teach you. But once you pull that out, that is now an immediate life or death situation. So they teach you to fire until the target is subdued, and that means they're telling you to mag dump. You do not stop. You don't just shoot one or two. You empty the clip because you have to guarantee that you're the life coming out of that now that you've escalated that situation. That's what happens when you get pulled. That's why they don't teach you to shoot somebody in the leg. They don't teach you to, there's a lot of those arguments too. They teach you to pull, aim for center mass, and don't stop firing until you hear the click. That's what they teach you to do, not even just in officer training, but in CPL classes, because you're only pulling it out because you believe that it is a life or death situation. You know what I'm saying? And I can see from the badge cam why that officer thought that was a life or death situation in that moment. I'm going to get fucking flamed in the comments for saying that, but I truthfully believe that. And it's hard because I don't agree with me in that situation. I can't say if I would do the same because I'm not in the high tense area of like having to hunt down and track a lot of illegal immigrants that most of them are criminals. If you look at the arrest records in Minneapolis, all of them are convicted of either child sex crimes or violent crimes. So they're dealing with the absolute scum of society on a day-to-day basis. And people don't understand what kind of toll that takes on a mind. Okay? You're now going from a normal operating citizen to now everything's a threat in those kind of circumstances. You're walking into apartment buildings that I'm sure are the slums in the worst places in the country. I'm sure because they're illegal and they can't get approving to get the nicer homes and the nicer places to live in this country. So I'm sure they're going into the absolute scums of society that exists in America. Their life's probably already on the line, and now they have to deal with people trying to impede them from doing that. I'm sure a lot of the people, believe it or not, I know a lot of people out there don't like their fucking job, but guess what? It puts bread on the table. It puts money in your bank account and helps support your family. I bet you half of the ICE officers probably don't agree with exactly what they're doing out there, but guess what? They're citizens just like you and me, and they're trying to make a paycheck. And how would you feel if every time I was getting checked, I was working, let's say you're working at a grocery store and you're the checkout artist, how would you feel every time, every other customer that you fucking interact with, somebody comes in there and starts screaming in your ear and tries to literally stop you from checking out the next customer and you're just trying to make a paycheck? I would get a little short with them as well. And you can't say most of these Gen Zs that are hollering for this officer don't get short with people, because guess what? I deal with you on a day-to-day basis when I'm at these fucking stores and at these retail chains. And let me just say, newsflash, you guys aren't people people either. You guys are not people pleasers by any stretch of the imagination. The Gen Z stare is a real thing, and it's the most infuriating fucking thing in the world. Not to bring this to something that it's not. These people are trying to do their jobs and you're impeding that. So of course they're going to be not exactly nice to you when they get out of the car and demand you get out of the fucking car. And then when you floor the gas pedal at one of them, they're going to make a rash decision because in their mind now this has escalated to life and death, and they're going to do the necessary precautions they need to do to get home to their families. So the fix to this next time is that you beat them in court, because I am a full supporter in the First Amendment and the Second Amendment and all the amendments. I think you do have a right to be there. Okay. I think you have a right to be there, regardless of what people think. I don't care if you traveled from Colorado. I don't care if you came from Hawaii to go and protest this. You have a right to be there as an American citizen. I fully support your right to go out there and picket and hold a sign as they drive by. Absolutely. If you want to write crazy shit on it, I support that 100%. You are within your legal right to do that, because in this country, I don't agree with what you have to say, but I'll die for your right to say it. 100%. That being said, when you start blocking roadways and you're not only inconveniencing the ICE officers, you're inconveniencing the civilians that are just trying to get home from work or get to work or try to get back to work on their fucking lunch break or trying to pick up their kids from daycare. Whatever the reason may be, you're inconveniencing other people around you. And when you think you're the main character in every story that you ever write, it always has a tragic ending. And this is an example of that, is because you cannot inconvenience all your local citizens and then literally break the law and expect things not to happen to you. Now, should you have died? No. I don't think anybody deserves, or it's not even my place to say, I shouldn't say anybody. It's not my place to say who deserves to die and who doesn't. Okay? That is not in my realm, and I don't think anybody would think that's in their realm to decide that. Okay? But what I can have an opinion on is what went wrong and what can be prevented. And all signs lead back to the fact that you're your own individual in this country, and you chose to impede a federal investigation, and you chose to hit that gas pedal. And it makes me incredibly sad for her family and for her child and for people that are close to her, that they had to see, they didn't only have to lose a loved one, but have to see it so publicly all the time and get it, talked about. I have to say, though, things happen, and it breaks my heart. I don't want kids to go motherless because of things like this. And I'm probably one of the most anti-big government people you'll ever meet if you actually sit down and fucking talk to me. But there are repercussions to actions. We went through this today. There are repercussions to actions that you choose to do. That is the one thing you can control in this life, are the choices that you make. And there are lessons to be learned at each choice. Some of them are deadly, whether you agree with them or not, whether they're justified or not. Some of those lessons happen to be deadly. And it's a reminder not only to all the new fathers here that you are wanted at home, that you're needed to be home, that if you feel strongly about something and I fully support your right to go protest, there are right ways to do that. And there are right ways to beat people in court. If you fully think that what they're doing is completely illegal, there is a route in court to beat it. Whether you think the system's flawed, guess what? That's why we have the jury system. It's called checks and balances. Go to court with them. And that's where you beat them, and that's where you get real change in this country. It's not from violent acts. We have proven it time and time again. Brown versus Board of Education. We can bring up every Supreme Court case ever. It's been proven time and time again that the way to get your point across is to be the bigger person and not to impede a federal investigation and not leave your family with one less member. Exactly. Don't be a martyr.
And
Don't
you know
be a
what?
martyr.
The thing is I've seen all this stuff about if the tables were turned, like these immigrants and shit, they wouldn't do that shit for you. You know what I mean? Like they wouldn't go out there and fucking put their lives at risk for you. They wouldn't give a shit about you.
And in some ways, I relate to them way more. And the reason why I say this is because they're thinking about one thing, and they're thinking about their family. And that's the only thing that would be going through my head anytime I'd have a feeling of wanting to do something like that. And that's not what protesting is supposed to. Thank you. That's not what protesting is supposed to be. That protesting, yes, we dumped tea in a harbor, but we didn't block roadways and scream in officers' faces and commit violent acts of arson, of aggression, even though aggression is not technically a crime in and of itself, but you get my point. Vandalism, stuff like that. The worst thing we did was vandalize a boat and dump some tea into a harbor. We didn't block our fellow citizen.
We did a lot worse.
So we have to.
But I respect the simplification of it.
You know what I mean, though. Like
I play devil's
there's-
advocate. I like to jump from both sides. I don't stick with the two-party system. I respect. I don't mean to interrupt, but I
in
like
terms
keep
of
moving the point here.
protesting, in terms of protesting, okay, we of course every country has committed horrible acts. You'd be pressed to find a group of people that didn't commit horrible acts. Okay, that's regardless. That's not
Okay.
the way to protest.
Well, let me
It's just not.
let me finish it with this, and then I gotta get off here for a couple minutes. I saw where they were trying to charge her wife for like inciting like the situation. Do you think that she should be prosecuted?
I don't know. I try to find line in that you have to hold people accountable for their own actions, regardless of. It's back to the same thing. If your friend says you should jump off a bridge, are you going to do it? You know what I mean? Like, thank you.
Is he gonna catch me?
Exactly. Is he gonna? Yeah. Like, can you charge him for that? No, you were the idiot that still jumped off the bridge. I mean, he might be an idiot for telling you to do it, but at the end of the day, you still did it. You know what I mean?
On God, on
I
God.
think it's a slippery slope if we start charging people for stuff like that, because it's the same thing of like, regardless of your opinion on it, if you tell somebody to kill yourself online and they do it, are you going to be charged with like third-degree murder, second-degree murder?
Yes, actually,
Like,
that's
It-
actually
it-
a law. That's
it
straight up a
is,
law
but it
now.
isn't, right? Like, it
Uh,
depends on how far it goes. Like, if you just say KYS in a fucking game chat, are you going to be fucking charged with that if they actually do it? No. Now, if there's a recorded history of you notoriously harassing this person, then they finally do it, sure. But until you reach like stalking level of harassment, the argument's going to be, well, you could have just left the Discord call. They didn't private message you or whatever. You know what I mean? Like, you're not going to get a fucking second-degree murder charge for somebody telling you to kill yourself in Discord and then you leaving and then you blaming it on that. But you will get that conviction if you left the Discord call and then they started harassing you over direct messaging. You know what I mean?
Mm.
Yep.
I get where you're going with this. Excuse me. I get where you're going with this 100%.
It's a slippery
think
slope
all
because
in
she's not
all-
like she was like in the it's a high emotional moment, but it's not like she's like writing her for months and like harassing her and her being like, you need to do this, you need to do this, you need to be a martyr, take one for the team. You know what I mean? Like, that's when I'd be like, okay, yeah, charge her. She's obviously inciting something. But if she's just like, just drive away, like I don't think
I
she
think
should be charged. No.
people miss the point when it comes to tragedies like this and tragic events where like it's quick to go on the defense or the offense, be like, well, this is that and this and that. I think we forget as humans that we should just try to learn from each situation that presents itself. Like, what could have Renee or the officer done differently? I don't know. Me being, just trying to predict people's movements. She seems very unstable and pretty worked up. I wouldn't
You
want to
probably
stand
wouldn't stand in
her.
front of the car.
Yeah,
absolutely.
but that's easy to say. I don't know. I wasn't there. I wasn't dealing with 10, 20 days prior to him. You don't know until you're actually in someone's shoes, but really what they're going through.
Yeah.
But,
Yeah.
ands, if, buts, or ors, it doesn't matter. It already happened. It's in the past. I mean,
You just
In
gotta think of
reality,
their
what
training,
can we
right?
do
Like,
better
move
as
forward.
a society?
yeah, it's
how
tragic.
can we reflect on it as a society and not as a Republican or a Democrat, but just as a society, and how can we build off of it and learn from it and
yeah.
Yeah,
move
to prevent
forward
this in
from
the
it.
future, right? Because I
Yeah,
don't think anybody wants somebody to get fucking murdered. That's
Right.
I don't
Yeah.
I don't agree with her dying. Of course I don't. I think it was preventable. I don't want
mean-
anybody to lose their life over something like that.
I'm-
Ever.
Not at all. I mean, I think to look at it as a whole point, I mean, this is what makes America America. We're allowed to go state our personal thoughts on matters right in front of the people without repercussion until you really start to escalate it, to the point where someone feels threatened. Once again, you go to the court of law, the FBI is investigating this situation. They're going to conclude their investigation, and there's really only two ways it goes is, officer was within his right to shoot, a justified shooting, or it was unjustified and he's going to be made example of, like the George Floyd officer, how he was treated after that whole ordeal. It's one of those things where it's just there's no good way to go about it. Whatever happens, one side's going to be upset. There's no going to be like, hey, can we understand why this was verdicted the way it was, so we can understand as maybe a protesting. Like if you're gonna do your American right to protest, then maybe just know what's within the boundaries. Personally,
Yeah. And you know what? At the end of the day, two families are ruined. You know, her family's
Mhm.
ruined because she
There's
died.
no
His
winners.
family's ruined because he's never going to be able to go out in public and just feel safe with his family out and about. Like he's going to have to basically fucking be in hiding the rest of his fucking life. You know?
I mean, yeah, PTSD of not seeing your mom, your other mom, your other
And
mama.
if it comes out that he, there's sufficient evidence to support that he's in the legal right, which, a lot of people are claiming after they came out that he suffered internal bleeding. Some people are trying to discredit that.
Mhm.
I-
I don't care either
Sure,
way. I mean, if
but
it's an excuse, cool. But I mean, it's gonna come out. All truth's gonna come to light after
yeah,
this investigation.
yeah,
So
absolutely. I mean, like, whether you think there's a deep state problem, I think that's where you truthfully start to separate extremists, and this extremist on the left thinks that there's this big state conspiracy to like
yeah, and to be
eradicate
fair, like I said,
people.
my previous statement, not to overdraw this, I see the right, the left, I see them as the same wings to the bird. Like why are we not working in unison to keep this bird, the citizens,
No, the government doesn't
functioning
want us
and running?
to.
Like we should be guiding and helping steer through the skies, whatever the metaphor is, whatever. But it's just no good way to cut it. It's an ugly situation. There's no winners. It's unfortunate.
And in reality, the
Yeah.
It's
government's
tragic.
eating it up because it's still keeping us separated. And the government knows that if they keep us separated against each other, then they're not
Yeah,
going to have
it's
to be
just
against the people.
Yeah,
I
they can do
just
whatever the fuck they want. Yeah, absolutely.
I just wish people would come to like more of an open minded of like, hey, let's talk about it. Let's not rage about it. Let's not fucking set ablaze this shit. Like, I personally don't think there's anything I would probably go set ablaze for and go start burning federal buildings down unless it involved, a
That's
wrongful
the
killing
thing,
of my
though,
child.
Nosy, is
That's the
that it's
shit that
not
would cause
federal
that.
buildings. That's the thing. I
They're
think I
doing
would
like
support
federal
it
vehicles, I
more
think.
if it were federal buildings. But
Yeah,
9 times out of
or
10, it's
like
not. It's local
Personal property,
businesses,
yeah.
small
and
businesses.
that's
hmm
the problem.
I
It's all
agree.
Everybody,
plotted. It's all a ploy, man. It
I'm
sucks.
going off
Nobody
on a
could see
tangent
that.
here.
We're going on a conspiracy. We should do a conspiracy one next
Oh, that would be cool.
next week. We bring our hottest
Yeah.
conspiracy from the last year and we present it and try to sway opinions and start and like
I'm
debate
gonna
it
do
for a
it.
minute.
Everybody, think about your most crazy conspiracy that you believe in.
It doesn't have to be the last year, but whatever your favorite one is.
Whatever your favorite
Helen
one is.
Keller.
and
Prove
we'll
your
do a
fucking
conspiracy
point because
theory
it's gonna there's
episode.
gonna be some
Yeah.
split decisions. It'll be interesting.
Let's do that. That's a good one for future. And let's also do you guys ever seen those things that like those true crimes where you fucking do like an investigation and you gotta find the killer and shit?
Oh
We should do
yes,
one
we
of
do a
those.
cold case
That
on
would be cool as
stream.
We
shit.
did that. Maddie and I did that with Alec and Kylie, bro, and I felt so baller doing that. Shit was so much
We
fun.
should do that on stream. That'd be cool.
It'd
really
be
cool.
so hard, dude. Have you guys ever done one?
Yep.
Yeah, I've done them.
I'm
Okay,
down,
dude.
though.
There's so much like paperwork and things to read through, and like
Isn't it called like
But I'm
cold
sure there's
case
one
files
that
or something like that?
I'm sure one we could find online that we could all like have pulled up. Like David could stream into the Discord and we could all still have it in front of us.
Hmm.
Like, I'm sure there's online ones.
Or he sends pictures and we just pull it up on our screens.
We'll have
Yeah.
Jamie do it.
yeah, Jamie.
Fax it on over.
Yummy.
I'd like to move on from the political stuff though, because we don't like
Yeah,
to. I
it's
don't like to
exhausting.
touch on that a lot. It gets.
I gotta be
you know,
prepared with like actual facts and of what happened. It feels like it's happening.
Yeah, I admittedly like that. I want to preface this. These are definitely just surface level research. I haven't deep dove into a lot of it. That's a lot
All
of
my
like
shit was pretty much opinionated. I mean, and that's a lot of what politics are for the. And that's the problem.
Yeah.
Everything's opinionated, but everything's opinionated, but everybody thinks their opinions are facts, and that's
But
really
that-
where the
but
problem
that's
comes
what's-
in.
That's what's fun about meeting new people of walks of life is people always got some type of wisdom to share. Even if it's not wisdom, you can kind of walk away from that gaining something of like, hey, that person's really fucking detached from society, or like you're like, hey, that person, great conversation. I'd love to do it again, but I just wish more people would be open to have a conversation rather than just screaming at each other, you're wrong and fucking.
Or shoot him in the neck.
I think
Yeah.
a lot of
Like,
people
let's just talk about
have
it.
this notion that there's always a deeper reason behind certain things and can never take things at face value. And that's kind of like the human condition, right? Where we're almost too intelligent for our own good, where
Fight or
we
flight.
think that there is a deeper meaning behind everything, that like every action has a deep and thought out reason, right? I think we struggle to separate that and think of, okay, there's a action and a reaction. You know what I mean? I think that is the true case
People forget
here.
about Newton's laws of motion, dog.
I
Oh,
just
God.
think it's I I don't think this case specifically was a deep state, I'm out to kill a person that I don't agree with politically.
Yeah.
I think it was very action and reaction based, and whether you agree with it or
100%.
not, I think that it
agree.
was definitely
Yeah.
spur of the moment.
Everything
thing.
was on adrenaline. It
I
looks
think
like
if
in the
you're actually
videos.
just not looking at it on a political standpoint and look at it on a humanistic standpoint, you could literally you can see both sides. That's the you know what I mean? You can really see
Yeah.
both sides.
Yeah,
Because
when you
one angle you're
detach
like,
from
oh,
the-
you can.
Yeah.
That's
Scary,
why
go
I
ahead,
have to
Mel.
bring up the. That's why I have to bring up the negligence is still a crime, right? I don't think she intentionally was actively trying to hit the officer in the moment, right? You did see the wheel turn. I think A, the roads were icy, so maybe she miscalculated something. But B, I also
looked
think
icy.
that, you know, on the officer's point of view, it's how can you expect him to be able to, in a split second, look at what's happening, and because he's not the one talking to her, he's the one on the front, right? The other officer is the one talking to her and trying to reason, whether you agree with his reasoning or not, whatever. The guy in the front is probably just and I say this just because of the knowledge that I've learned over, my algorithm hell over the past, year or so of me having a lot of military stories and stuff on my TikTok. But the guy was probably just following a formation order that they had practiced. He was probably just trying to do his job, and that I'm supposed to stand here, watch her actions, and make sure she doesn't do anything stupid, right? And then the other guy's talking to her, and like he's probably listening, but you know what I mean. He's probably has other things that his job is predicated on his mind too. When that happens and she floors it forward, I can also see from his point of view where he thinks, "Oh shit, this chick's really trying to run me over." You know what I mean? But from the back of the fucking car, you can see her wheel turn. It was a little late, but you saw it turn around. I think she was trying to just run, but that's the thing, is my point being, negligence is still a crime. You don't have to have the intent to run somebody over. But if I'm driving really close to a parade and I'm going 80 miles an hour and somebody shoots me, they're going to be like, oh, that guy's a hero. He probably saved a lot of lives there. You know what I'm saying? Like, whether I was, and I may have not known there was a fucking parade that day and I was just being an
Oh my
idiot speeding in a
gosh.
car. You know what
We
I'm
gotta-
saying?
You unlocked a fucking hilarious clip I remember seeing of oh my gosh, continue, Mel. Like I gotta show this. This is hilarious.
You know what I'm saying, though, right? Like, if if there's a parade going on downtown and this SUV is cruising 80 miles an hour down Main Street and I'm getting close to people and somebody shoots me, they're going to be like, that was justified. That guy might have been committing a violent terrorist act. But I could have been just fucking not realize there was a fucking parade that day and just being an idiot and just being like, let's see how fast I can get this thing down Main Street before I get pulled over. I'm not inherently trying to commit a violent crime. But because of my negligence and because of my ignorance to what could have been going on around me, I almost did. So you know what I mean? Like,
Mhm.
I don't know. I think that there's people try so hard to turn everything into black and white when we know life has a lot of gray areas, and there are multiple. Just because something might be morally wrong doesn't mean it's legally wrong. You know, where we see the back of the vehicle and we're like, oh, well, she was trying to turn. That looks fucked up. And then you look at the front of the vehicle and you're like, oh, I could see why he thought he was about to get ran over. And then you start to think like it's kind of a microcosm in the most tragic way of life where two points of view can look totally different. So that's why it's just best to comply with the officer and beat them in court.
Yep. Fellas, thanks for having me this week. I got to go and get this kid a bath and put him to bed so I can play some games.
Yes, sir. Yes,
Oh,
sir.
yeah.
You do that, man. Good luck. Pleasure having you on. I know this took a weird political turn tonight. It usually doesn't. We're usually just fucking idiots in this podcast.
Yeah, I
so.
thought we were just gonna get justified, not justified, and move on. But damn, you put us some. I feel like an asshole for my little fucking asshole opinion on it now. I'm not gonna lie.
He said
Actually
she
goes,
deserved it.
and for the record, I'd like to change my opinion.
No,
Hey,
no,
you
I
guys-
still
Whatever
think it's-
Malik said, I agree.
I-
drag me into wherever you guys end up.
My
right, buddy.
thought.
Alright.
I mean, I pretty much said the same thing, or not fully in detail, but like, I believe it was justified because of the situation and all that bullshit. You know, she, no intention or not, she fucking hit the guy. We all saw it on the body cam. So now the first shot for sure justified, and I understand this part doesn't really matter for my opinion because we are trained to but they're all trained to fucking mag dump. The other two shots where he was clearly on the side of the car, little insane, but again, trained to mag dump. So
Yeah, I didn't admittedly see that part. Like I watched the video, but I didn't see him do that. So if he did that, that is weird. I
yeah.
don't know
So
why
the
he
first
would
shot,
do
the first
that.
shot happened right when he got hit. And then
Yeah, I do
and
remember
then
that,
the car
yeah.
turned, and as the car
I
was
remember him
turning,
shooting a few after that too.
yeah,
Like he
right
shot
through the
one when he got
driver's
hit,
side
and then-
window.
yeah,
So I was like, those two kind of were like, I don't think those two are justified because clearly the path is gone. 'Cause she clearly turned that way, but the first one for sure because he got hit.
yeah.
So
I think that yeah, I think it's a tough situation if he did that. That is interesting why you would do that, but fight or flight. I hate to say I get it, but I also like I get the other viewpoint too. Like that does look horrible for that guy. Like if you're the threat's already neutralized. If you put two more, it's like, okay, dude, like what are we doing here? But I don't
honestly,
know.
the
Tough situation all
wife
around.
might get
I
negligence
just
too. We already moved past that one. Is that Blake? SJ Hall? Yeah, that's Blake. Yeah, we already had a whole conversation about that.
yeah, we did talk about that. Like I said, I reiterate, I don't personally think she should get charged. I think that's a slippery slope. When you start trying people for that, the whole example of like if your friend tells you to jump off a bridge and you do it, who's the idiot? You know what I mean?
Right.
I don't know. You could tell that. I just hate to say it, and I hope this isn't the case. You could tell that. I don't know. The woman Renee, unfortunately, seemed to. I don't know. The video looked weird because I felt like she was just kind of like. It almost felt like she was not coerced into being there, but it felt like I don't know. Maybe she didn't feel as strongly about the situation as the wife does, and maybe
Yeah,
like
I was gonna
because
say
like
that because the body cam video, the wife is like sitting there talking shit to him, like, "Oh, fat boy, go get lunch," and then they show up to Renee, and she's like, "I'm not even mad at you," like blah blah blah, whatever, and yeah, so I don't even think she had like like a full on hearted opinion about it. I think the wife was like the one that got her there, I guess. This is all just thoughts.
yeah. I think to Savage Joe's point in the disc in the Twitch chat here, all good shit is just a mess. Gonna let it play out before I have a full opinion on it. Yeah, that's probably the good route to take. Obviously, you want to get all the facts before you develop a full opinion on it for sure. I mean, these people are, the good part about the American justice system is that we are all innocent until proven guilty, and sometimes that guilty verdict does come after later investigation. Sometimes the innocent verdict does. It depends. So I do respect letting it all play out before you have a full opinion because at the end of the day, none of us were there. None of us can have a full scope of what was going through Renee's head at the time and what was going through the officer's head at the time because we weren't there. We didn't see it all play out. So that is the good route to take. I agree. Obviously, everybody's gonna have knee-jerk opinions. It's just human nature. We're all gonna have initial opinions on it. But I agree. Thoughts and prayers out to Renee's family. I'm sure they're going through it. Thoughts and prayers also out to the officer's family because if you agree with it or not, the family didn't make that decision. So I'm sure they're reaping some of the repercussions of it too. So thoughts and prayers out to both parties' families, and I hope justice gets served one way or the other. So
Right. I sort of kind of see like if I were some reason in that situation, if someone came up to my door and started yanking on the handle, I'll probably drive it off too. So I also see it from both, but the thing that made me think it was justified is because there was contact with the car and the officer. That's it. I kind of sounded like a douchebag when I first I was like saying like, "Oh, you shot that bitch." Like that's just how I talk. I really didn't mean it like that, but
yeah, no, I mean, I think that anybody that actually watches this pod will understand the kind of people we really are. And if this is the first you're seeing of this, I recommend you go and look at our other episodes because we're a bunch of morons that just talk a lot of shit all the time. So
Right.
none of
Once again, take our
hardly
opinions
ever.
at face value. We are
This
just
is
a bunch of
entertainment.
nobodies.
We're entertainment. We're not news, brother. We're entertainment. We talk a lot of shit. We say a bunch of dumb shit.
Yeah, don't
is what
believe
it is.
us. Go believe your local celebrity for your opinions.
Jesus Christ.
Go to the
Believe
View.
them.
No, I'm just kidding.
They're always right. They have money. We don't.
All right, I think we should wrap
Regardless.
this up. We're about 40 minutes over our hour mark. Wasn't my full intention to go this long, but I was just curious on if we thought it was just fit or not.
No, it's all right. I think next week we should definitely lock in on the conspiracy theory thing. Everybody prepare your I don't want to say favorite conspiracy theory. That might sound a little fucked up, but favorite conspiracy theory, I guess.
Helen
And
Keller.
you don't even have to you don't even have to do like crazy research on it. I'm not asking for a full like documentary level narrating story, but you know, some of the fun conspiracy theories, and we can talk about them, and you know, I think that'll be fun for a podcast. That sounds fun. So
I'm down. Helen Keller coming up next week.
yeah.
Dumb, blind, deaf bitch.
You're telling me she produced a fucking book? All right,
I'm
anyways.
saving it for next week.
Cross off, stupid bitch.
Jesus Christ.
Uh,
All right.
Anyway, thank you guys all for tuning in. I appreciate it. I know this got a little weird this week. Next week will be definitely way more lighthearted, but obviously David had to ask the question. But no, I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. It was a good question. But
A few
that
words
being
I've
said, thank
spoken.
you guys. That being said, again, Zinni in the description below, Rogue Energy, Code Nova Uprise, and if you would like a That Being Said t-shirt presented by Mr. David the Axis himself, and also me because I can't get that phrase out of my fucking vocabulary, you can go visit the description in the stream and in the YouTube description below and get yourself some pregame podcast merch that is released with the That Being Said t-shirt. Have to say, I'm probably going to order one because I fucking love it. So I'm definitely going to get on that train. Need to do it. You guys should too. So thanks you guys for tuning in. And with that, you have a good night. See ya.
Also, a reminder before it's completely cut off, we are now also on Apple Podcasts if you don't like watching our ugly faces.
Oh yeah. If you don't want to see me, I don't blame you. I look like a fucking bum most of the time. But if you want to go and enjoy some sub 90 IQ conversation level shit, go to Apple Podcasts. We're there. The pregame, same as on YouTube. Play us to lose brain cells. Honestly,
Type
if you want to
shit.
lose brain cells, you don't care about your fucking cells in your brain. Turn us on. We'll fucking make you lose them quicker and shit. Anyway, you guys have a good night.
Word.